Okay. I noticed that you were not, the presentation was not recorded, but I just start, so it's okay. Okay. Angela, unfortunately, I can't see your preliminary pages, so I can't talk about that. It's not here. What the soft copy that I have with me doesn't have the preliminary pages. But I will, since I'm not privileged to see it, we'll go through the work. But I want you to take note of the following, and if it is there in your preliminary pages, that's okay. Okay. We will start with. Can you hear me, Angela? Angela, can you hear me? Angela, can you hear me? Angela, can you hear me? Okay, good. Angela, can you hear me? Angela, can you hear me?
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, I said, can you hear me? Yeah. You went off, I know.
Hello, Prof. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Now.
Yeah, I say you went
know.
off.
I was trying to remind you to record his network. I was trying to remind him to record the session.
Yeah,
it's now in recording. It's
yeah,
okay now.
no, yeah, I just noticed that it was not recording, so I started. Okay, Angela, can you hear me? Okay, what I said, I said I don't have your preliminary pages with me, so I will make just a general comment on the preliminary pages, and hoping that you have you will take note of what I will raise, and if you have done it already, that's okay. Okay. I noticed.
Sorry, ma, I didn't get that.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, what I said I don't have your preliminary pages. Okay, I don't have it. The soft copy that was sent to me was just from chapter 1 to chapter 5. But I just want to make general comment, and you take note. If you have it, it's okay. If you don't, then you should effect the correction. Is that okay? And I said, I noticed that most of you in your chapter 2, you bring in, that is in the table of content. Can you hear me?
I can't really get you well.
Angela, it is you I'm talking to. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. If at any point you are not hearing me, let me know, okay? I will take it again. Okay, I said that your work that was sent to me does not have preliminary pages. Okay, and I know you have it, but I don't have it. So the preliminary pages, okay, that is your abstract, your acknowledgement, your table of content and all that. I don't have it. But I said I want to make a general comment. I observed that most of you in your table of content, you bring in so many things that are not relevant in your chapter 2. And then what I want in chapter 2 is you conceptualize your properties and your DVs, right? Under your conceptualization, that is 2.1. You conceptualize your DV, then your proxies. Then you can have all those other things in the main work, but it doesn't have to be captured in the table of content. Then you have your empirical studies where you are and then we have your theoretical framework. Some people in that chapter can have literature gap and then summary of the chapter. Is that okay? Angela, are you hearing me?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, good. Then you are abstract. There are
yes, ma'am.
Then abstract. I don't know. I haven't seen your abstract, but I just want to state the key things that must be seen in your abstract. Okay? Is that okay? We need to see your introduction. We need to see.
I didn't get that, ma.
I said your abstract, okay, must contain the following. I don't have it, but I say it must contain the introduction. It must contain the introduction, the statement of the problem, your methodology. Are you hearing me?
Okay.
Your methodology.
Yes, ma, it's there. It's contained in there, ma.
And then your major findings.
Yes,
Your conclusion and recommendation.
ma, it's all in there.
Okay, good. So let's start. Let me go through your work. He said that the topic is
Yes, ma.
the topic of family business, the promotion of entrepreneurship skills among youth in Ebonyi State, right?
Yes, ma.
Okay, good. So I will start with your chapter 1. Okay. I start with your page 1. What are your proxies? What are your proxies? How did you proxy your IVs? What are your proxies? How did you proxy your IVs?
My work, ma.
Your proxies, Angela.
I didn't get.
Okay, so okay, you have proxy now. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Okay, I say you have proxy your DVs.
I'm hearing you now.
You have proxy your dependent variable, isn't it? Into analytical skill, right?
Okay.
Analytical skill, creative skills, isn't it?
Okay, my variables.
Yes, they are your proxies now. So you have the awareness.
Okay.
All I'm trying to say is that I want to see. I'm seeing it. I say you have the awareness skills, you have the creative skill, you have the innovative skill, and you have the analytical skills, right? 4 skills: awareness, analytical, innovative, and creative, right?
Huh?
Oh, God. Angela. Angela, can you hear me? A is from that place. Can you hear me? Angela, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, so good.
I can hear you.
So what I said you are DVs, that is your dependent variable. You have proxy it into 4, isn't it? Into 4 variables. That is the analytical skill,
Yes, ma'am.
the creative skill, the innovative skill, and the awareness skill, right? 5 skills I could see in your work.
Yes, ma'am.
So I say when we come to your background, your background to the study. In your background to the study, at least in the second, third paragraph, you should be able to link this variable. You should be able to link this variable with the with the IV. Is that okay? Did you get that?
Okay, ma'am.
I say in your background to the study.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, you are too silent about this this. I want you to talk about it, okay? And link it to the subject matter, the awareness. Let me write the awareness, the critical, innovative, and analytical, okay? If at least you are listening and your coordinator is listening, okay? Then we go to our statement of the problem. Your statement of the problem is not robust. Are you hearing me? Your statement of the problem is not robust. Angela. So maybe you can just tell her this has statement of the problem for statement of problem for is not reverse. Oh, now another this command this one awareness skill is a variable inclusion that she has not put in her statement of the problem. So she can, put in a variable inclusion again in her statement, because most work when it comes to talking about the skills, we don't talk about awareness. So it has increased that one. Okay, Angela, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
There's problem, but we will go like this. I say in your statement of the problem, it is not robust. Okay, statement of the problem essentially is for you to tell us the gaps that you will fill. And in your model, I have seen awareness skill. Awareness skill is actually a variable that you have included in your work. So that one too should form your gap. When you go to your statement of problem, based on some other researches or other studies, related matters, they don't include awareness skill when it comes to what? Entrepreneurship skill. So that is the plus to you. So you cannot say in your statement of the problem, you after citing some literatures that you have added or included or infused another variable that have not been captured before. Then you now talk about the awareness skill. Is that okay? Essentially, statement of the problem is not problem disadvantage as the case as you see it, but statement of the problem is essentially the gap that this study intend to fill. And this gap can be literature gap, it can be methodological gap, it can be environmental gap, it can be variable inclusion. And in your work now, we have seen that you have established gap by that variable inclusion, creating or adding in or awareness skill. Okay, so I'm not saying that you can build up your statement of the problem to be more robust by including that variable inclusion. Are you understanding me? Angela, are you getting me? Do you get what I said? Do you understand what I said? I said, do you understand what I said about the statement of the problem?
Network.
But
Mama, the network.
I can hear you. Can
Yes,
you hear
ma'am.
me?
There's something you said about this. Okay.
Did you hear
I can hear
what
you
I
now.
said concerning your statement of the problem?
I didn't get, I didn't hear much.
Okay, I said, okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Your network is bad. Okay, what I said, I said the statement of the problem is not disadvantages, neither is it challenges or problems as the case may be. Essentially, it is the gap that the study intends to fill. And I say at MSc level, you should be able to identify clearly at least 3 or 4 gaps that the study will fill. You can have environmental gap, you can have methodological gap, variable inclusion, period gap, etc., etc. I say in your work, I have seen a gap that can be an addition to build your statement of the problem. I say most of the models or most of the studies, when they are talking about entrepreneurship skill, they don't talk about awareness skill as a skill, isn't it? But you have included awareness skill as your prosy or other variable. So this is another gap. I say you should be able to reflect in your statement of the problem. Are you understanding me? You should be able to reflect in the statement of the problem that you have variable inclusion gap. That most of the studies, then you cite some few studies. When they talk about entrepreneurship skills, they talk about analytical, creative, and innovative. But for this work, you want to add another variable. That is variable inclusion. You have added awareness skill. Do you get now? Did you get what I said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So we are through with that. We now go to your.
I got it.
Okay, good. So let's go to your objectives of the study. In your objective, you say the key objective. Okay, read your objective. Read your key objective.
I should read it.
Yeah.
The key objectives of is to systematically analyze how family business can adequately indoctrinate the youth with the appropriate entrepreneurial skills that will make them to be self-reliant as well as employers of other unemployed youths in Ebonyi State.
What is your title?
I should go ahead, ma'am.
What is your title? What is your topic? Read your topic.
My topic.
Mm.
The topic of effects of family business in the promotion of entrepreneurial skills among the youths in Ebonyi State.
So, is there any direct relationship between your topic and what you have written as your key objective? In your key objective, you are saying you are systematically analyzing how, but in your work, it is effect. So why don't you say the main objective of the study is to assess or to examine the effects of family business in the promotion of entrepreneurship skill among youth in Ebonyi State? Which one is all those English now? The main objective of the study is to assess or to examine the effect of family business in the promotion of entrepreneurship skills among youth in Ebonyi State. Other specific objectives are to, do you understand? You can't have a title that is not really reflecting in the objectives. So you now refresh your objective to capture the title. Are you okay? Are you hearing me? Okay, good. Then the specific, just say the specific objectives are to, then hyphen. So you remove all those identifiers. Yes, so what is yes, ma'am? Did you hear what I say? What did I say? Angela. What did I say? What was the last thing that I said? What was the last thing I said?
I should say the specific objective.
Yeah, the specific objectives are to hyphen, to one, identify.
I didn't get.
The specific objectives are to hyphen, one, identify, not identifying. Are to one, identify, establish, analyze, examine. Did you get? Other specific objectives are to hyphen, one, identify, two, establish, three, analyze, four, examine, not examining, identifying, like that. Did you get?
I got it, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, you said one, ma'am.
I said order specific.
I'm not examining.
Other specific objectives are to hyphen. Other specific objectives are to hyphen, one, identify, not identifying. Identify, examine. Okay, I will write it to you. Now just check. Other, I'm writing it to you to see other specific objectives. Are you seeing? I will give it to you. Two. So you now say, sorry, I'm typing it so that you can see it. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay.
Did you see it? Have you seen what I've written? So when you say other specific objectives are to hyphen, identify, blah, 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 establish, blah, blah. Is that okay? Okay. In your hypothesis, you should give us a kind of preamble, okay? You just say hypothesis, research hypothesis, and you just start stating it. You will now say the following null hypothesis You make me to be at a peace now today, Abby. Eh?
Okay.
I've become your secretary.
Huh?
You have made me to be at your secretary. The following null hypotheses were formulated for the study. Okay? That is, you have made an explanation preamble before you start stating the hypothesis, okay? The following null hypotheses were formulated for the study. Okay?
Okay. All right, ma'am.
Okay. Then the significance of the study. I'm just going through the work. But what I want to know is that, simply put, they are the beneficiaries of the study, and how will they benefit from the studies? 3 critical stakeholders must be stated and identified. How will the study be significant for policymakers? That is policy implication or policy significance, practical significance, and literature significance, okay? That one must be established. I'm not going to write that. So we come to our chapter 2. You see my problem? In your 2.1, you have already said conceptual framework, isn't it? You have said 2.1, you say conceptual framework, right? What it means is that we know that every other thing that comes under that subheading is conceptualization. I say what it means is that everything that comes under that subheading is conceptualization. So you should remove, on your 2.1.1, remove that concept. The concept you will have here is family business, because as I mentioned, family business. Did you hear? Not only family. It's family we're discussing now. We're discussing family business. So it's not going to be concept of family. It's going to be family business. Okay? And then that is why your literature is very, very scanty. You should conceptualize family business, not family. So you look at the view of at least 4 or 5 authors with taking note of currency. You understand? Then this is what Angela 2015 is saying when she talks about family business. This is what Dr. Arbor is saying when it comes to. So after seeing the view of few people, authors, what is your conceptualization, or what is your working definition for family business regarding this study? Because are you adopting one, or are you adopting Helen's definition? Are you adopting Gaddafi's definition, or are you bringing out your own definition based on those literatures that you have read on family business? Okay? Have you gotten that? Good. So again, so you cannot conceptualize family separately and business separately. You understand? So you merge, you collapse these two, and it becomes family business. Did you get?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. You even have it. So what you know what you will do? You know what you will do? Expunge 2.1.1, delete expunge 2.1.1, expunge 2.1.2. Did you get?
2.1.1, 2.1.2.
Yes, you expunge, you delete them. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm coming. Are you there? Okay, just give me like 10 minutes. You delete them, okay? So you are 2.1.3 becomes 2.1.1, right? Do you understand? I said you are 2.1.3 becomes 2.1.1, and you remove so you remove that concept. So you are 2.1.4 becomes 2.1.1.1 because it's supposed to be under family business. Is that not it? So anyway, just do the arrangement, okay? Do the arrangement. Okay? Then we come to our empirical studies.
Okay, ma'am.
Empirical studies. At least I will give it to you. You have tried. I have seen currency in your empirical studies. But Your empirical study is very, very scanty. It's few. You should have nothing less than 8 empirical studies. Build your empirical studies. What do you need in empirical studies? You are studying, you are now analyzing or talking about studies that relate to your work. Taking note of this, bringing out the author's name, the year of study, the title of study, the methodology adopted, their major finding, and if possibly, conclusion. But you are not, take note, you are not reporting, right? We must hear your voice. You should be able to critique. What are you saying concerning those things that you have reviewed? That one is absent in your work, okay? So let's go to your methodology. Okay, sorry, your theoretical framework. Okay, I am okay with the theory, but my question is this. After talking about so many these theories, in your last paragraph, you should be able to tell us the theory you are adopting for the purpose of this study, and then you justify, okay? Yeah? As a way of recap, yeah. The theory you are adopting for the purpose of this study, and then you justify. Okay. I always have problem with methodology. So now, this is your population, right? 3.4. This is your population. Your source, you only told us that it is nominal role. Nominal role of what? The nominal role of what? Is it a Bonny local government register? But if it is a Bonny local government register, can they give you that data that you are looking for? If they can give you, then you now say you will now say it is a Bonny local government council nominal role. Did you get that?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
The source, it should be a Bonny local government council nominal register or nominal role, whatever it is. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Another concern I have with your sample size. I know that you use your money, right, to arrive at the sample size of 72. But 72 out of 248, it is less than 30% of the population. Do you think this is a fair representation of your population? No, it is not. So I said, my own recommendation is, yeah, you should use another sample. You should use another scientific or statistical tool to arrive at least 50% of your population. That 72% is not a fair representation of your population. You have a population of 248 in your work, and the only people you are testing is 72. It is not a fair representation. So I say recast, revisit your sample size, okay, so that you can increase it. Or if you don't want to, if we can do it this way, we can still remove the leave the sample size, but there's a provision that always says you can add certain percentage of your sample size to get the total sample size. Now you can add 30% of 72. Do you understand? You can add 40% of 72. So, but all I'm saying is that 72 is not sufficient, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So your sample size is not adequately. Your sample size is not adequate. Okay? Okay. So what technique did you use in your sampling technique? How did you spray the 72 among, how do you get the 72 among the 248? It's a simple random sample. And tell me, how did you do it? How did you do it? So that I'll know it is simple random sampling technique. How did you do it? How did you distribute it? You just close your eyes and you pick.
Picking out seven. No,
Start.
7 respondents were randomly.
I know. How did you pick the 7? I will give you an example, okay? You go back.
Among the 72, I pick and the.
No, wait now. Like in this Ebonyi Central, right? You have 80, right? But what you pick is 7 now, isn't it? Let's assume it's 7 you picked. How did you pick them? I just want to know. I'm just being curious to know how you actually picked those respondents. So if I'm curious, it means that you should explain more in your sampling technique, how you really distributed the sample, how you really got the 72 people from the 248. That's what I mean.
But I didn't get that, sorry, ma'am.
I said, look, it's just like,
Please, can you?
I said, right? Your sample size. Your sample size, right? I say, how did you distribute it? How did you distribute it? That's a sampling technique now. I want to know. You should explain more, okay?
Okay. It was distributed. I said I use 7.
I know now.
7 out of 7.
Okay.
Are using the.
This is your pilot study, Angela. You carried out a pilot study.
Yes, ma'am.
You carried out a pilot study, you say. You carried out a pilot study. You did a pilot study.
Pilot study, yes. Yes, I carried pilot study. Yes, I did.
Attach the pilot study to your output, okay? In your appendix as output. I want to see it. Attach the pilot study in your output.
Okay, the pilot.
In your okay. Sorry, in your appendix. Let's see. Angela, I will ask you a question, okay? Okay. Your topic is on effect. Okay. If your topic is effect, isn't it? It's effect. It's effect. Your topic is effect, right? Effect of. And if you are looking at effect of, do you think the PPMC is the best statistical tool to use? The BPM. I say your topic is on effect of family business, and then you are using the person correlation, person product moment correlation. That is the PPMC. Do you think is the best fit model for it? Do you think is the best fit?
I think so, ma'am.
No, it is not.
I think so.
If it is effect, it is not.
I think so.
If it is effect, it should be regression.
Okay.
I'm not condemning it, but I'm saying it is not the best fit. Okay.
Okay, I should use regression. Should I? I should use regression instead.
Yes, no.
All right, ma'am.
The model is not correct. Okay. I will catch you. I'm going through your work. No, I'm looking at the work. Don't write, in all this your source in chapter 4, you are writing OE-based field survey. What just tell me the researcher field survey. What is my own with OE? The researcher, right?
Okay. The researcher, okay.
Yes. I say I'm not comfortable with your model, But if you want us to accept the model, then you should prove to us why PPMC. Do you understand? Proof.
No, ma.
I say I'm not comfortable with your model, but if it must stand, then you have to justify to us why you are using PPMC model. Is that okay?
All right, ma'am.
And when you come to your discussions of your result, you should be able to tell us, because your empirical review and your literature review is scanty. That is why you cannot tell us whether you are agreeing with some study or disagreeing with some studies. So after your findings, you should say that this finding have agreed with this so work, or disagree with so work because of this. Is an MSc work. Are you understanding me? And then in your 5.3, you are talking about limitation of the problem. Like I did tell the other candidate yesterday. When you talk about limitation, if you don't state how you overcome it, then it makes the work to be null and void. It makes the research to be invalid. So if you must talk about limitation, then tell us how you have overcome the limitation. Okay? If you cannot talk about it, if you cannot explain how you overcame the limitation, then expunge it. Is that okay?
Ma, I think yes, ma'am, but I think it's there.
No, what of money is money a limitation? Even when you are doing the project, don't you know? When you start the program, don't you know you are going to need money? So the normal, and then you have to rearrange your chapter 5. Okay, you have to, because 5.1 is summary. Okay, arrange it. 5.2 is conclusion. 5.3 is recommendation. 5.4 is it should be a implication for the study. Okay, and 5.5. Do you understand?
Mama, can you take it again? Let me.
I said you are chapter 5. Are you hearing me? You are chapter 5. You have to rearrange your chapter 5. Are you hearing me? You have to rearrange your chapter 5. I say you have to rearrange your chapter 5. You have to rearrange your chapter 5. 5.1 is summary. 5.2 is conclusion. 5.3 is recommendation. 5.1 summary, 5.2 conclusion, 5.3 recommendation, 5.4 implication of the study, in that order.
Yes, ma'am.
So Angela, tell me why do you think we should give you MSc in entrepreneurship? Have you worked for it?
Yes, ma'am.
What is yes, ma'am? I said, prove to me now. Why? Why do you think we should give you MSc?
Why do I think I should be given
MSc entrepreneurship?
Because of what I've contributed in this work, ma'am.
Okay, what is your contribution to the work? What is your contribution to the work? What is your contribution to the work?
What do you think they should give it service?
Because it has contributed, the work has contributed to a body of knowledge.
Can you look at me and talk to me? Can you talk to me, not listening? I asked you a question.
Okay, ma'am.
I said, what is your contribution to the body of knowledge?
Okay. Because it will help other researchers that are researching into this work.
In which area?
And it will also help out in
which area? Be specific. In which area? Be specific. I say in which area? Be specific.
Okay, in the area of academics, ma'am.
Only academics.
It will help out in the area of help out. It will help out on the awareness, to create awareness among the world with regards to family business.
Okay. I hear you. Angela, please, effect the few corrections that I said, and the major concern that I have raised as per your area of sample size, sampling technique, and I have a major concern. I say your statistical tool that you adopted. If we must take that, then you have to explain to us why you use the PPMC. Is that okay?
Why I use what, ma'am?
I say you have to explain to us why you use the PPMC model. That is the person product attribute correlation. You have to explain to us why. Because for me, I was thinking that the regression would have been the best. But if you are saying otherwise, then explain to us, okay? Angela. Oh, congratulations. Please take note of all those corrections.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Dr. Fobike.
Thank you.
Dr. Fobike.
My dog.
Anyone on ground again?
Sir. Sir.
Anyone on ground again?
Sir.
Anyone on ground?
The remaining person, Mr.
Nobody.
Philip. No, Mr. Philip from Uyo Study Center.
Where is he?
He said he has emergency that will come later in the day.
No problem.
For his presentation. I'm here with the desk officer.
No problem. No problem.
I don't know.
No problem.
HOD, did you get my message?
Yes, I will check now. No problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you found your district. You found your. Are you for it?